Hello, my loves. I'm going to share something with you. Can't see this with me in front of it, so I'm going to share this where I'm at and what I want to talk about, which if you take in this cool, glorious environment, check in that awesome statue and all this fun, cool stuff, I'll show you. What I want to talk to you about is luxury codes. So this is one of the most phenomenal resorts in Hawaii. And it's quite top high end to be able to not only stay here but also run retreats and events here. And this is where my girl and I are been the last couple days to be able to do some Ascended Master activations, do all sorts of really cool, I like to say, dope ass frequency stuff. Hence I'm always decked out in my dope ass frequency. So we've been doing, we came here over the eclipse in the portal with not only a hurricane coming in and volcanoes erupting, right to the space where we got to do ISIS activations and all sorts of things. And I'm not really here to go into that. What it reminded me of was luxury codes and wanting to talk about luxury codes. And some people are like, what do you even mean when you talk about codes? I mean, this place is immaculate. One of my favorite things here, I'm gonna show you really quickly before I get into luxury codes. Yo, dope, like full-size life statue right there. And I'll kind of see if with the shade you can see this whole, there's a massive, gorgeous, beautiful beach down there, very immaculate and kind of like a private island space. And so talking, what this reminded me of, being in this space, obviously, which I love, how much I love to be taken care of, how much I love to be supported, how much I love to experience luxury. And just as much as that is true, I can be down in the jungles in Colombia where I do some of my retreats and all over the world and literally be sleeping in the dirt. So what the shift was for me was, coming from, I'll give you guys a little background, coming from where I was raised on a farm. We had to grow our own food to survive. We literally had to grow our own food to be able to survive. And so I definitely had really lack scarcity mentality and consciousness and belief systems. And so being able to go from a place where it was like complete lack and scarcity, how are you today? To be able to go to a place where I had clients paying me $1 million per person to work with me and coaching some of the biggest corporations in the world to also having, retreats, several different companies doing several different things. And my experience right now, I'm just gonna share this with you guys. So cool. There's even a pirate ship down there. People just paddleboarding and enjoying it up. So getting to have an experience where now even I chose that where my heart was calling me was to even get to just shed all identities and things and be able to go off and go wherever I feel called to be in the world, doing whatever I feel called to do, completely free of time, effort, energy, meaning I walked away from doing more masterminds and retreats and even personal coaching right now just to say, you know what, like this is where my soul's calling me to go. And that in and of itself is a level of declaration in your worth. And the first thing I want to start out with and being able to be in a place where, again, now the old me, there's several things here, guys. First one is this is what's coming through right now, is just that you are the only one that can value or put a value on your worth. You are the only one that can decide the value of the worth of whatever messages that you share, whatever offering is, whatever you do for the world, whoever you choose to be, you're the only one who can put the value on that. You are the source of your own experiences, so that no one else outside of you can ever claim your worth or what that is. Secondly, the thing coming through that I want to share is that the past me, the past experiences would have found ways to be like, to validate things. Like I remember back in the day going from like having like a really shitty car that I was just praying with gratitude that it made it from mile to mile with my 2 kids to get around. Again, going back to the day, if you don't know that much about my stories, being a $2 an hour waitress, having 2 kids to feed after finding out I had a cheating husband and becoming single. And that was after 7 years of marriage, and stepping into owning who I was, discovering fully who I was, expressing that to the world, and creating the magnificent, miraculous, luxurious life that I was worthy of. Now, I would have never even told you that I wanted a luxurious life, because I couldn't have even fathomed that, and also because I would have found ways to be like, oh, that doesn't make sense. I wouldn't. Now, I'm very smart about my money, and I'm very smart about my wealth creations, and knowing that money is just a tool and vibration that I get to not only live the life that I want, so that I can be at the highest vessel possible to serve the world at the greatest degree. Did you get that? So money is simply a reflection. The amount that I'm receiving, again, is always just a reflection of how much I am giving the world and how much I love myself. So knowing that if I want to now step into assisting the world at a greater degree, of course that means I get to call in more money as a reflection of that value, and that gives me, it's a tool for me to now create at an even greater degree, to continue to give to the whole and receive from the whole. So in the past, there would have been even a block to even saying that I would, and again, these are validation human stories, maybe as to why you won't allow yourself to create it. Is the story would have been that, even for the car, as I was referring to, that it's like, oh, like I don't need a nice car, like I just need something that gets me from A to B. And when I realized that the car was even a reflection of my own value and my own, having something that was safe and having something that didn't make a lot of noise. And I remember back in the day being like, I thought it was crazy that people spend a lot of money on cars or vehicles, because it's just like, to me, it looked like such a, loss of money. And again, that was just a reflection of my consciousness. That was a reflection of how much I valued myself or my self-worth to be able to say, that I could have something like that. So I'm actually going to move a little bit in the sun here, because I want to enjoy the sun a little bit too. And well, I'm a little bright. Okay, maybe I'll come back right here. You got all this. Maybe I'll do this with this awesome view behind me if I'm not too dark. So I wanted to really, I had to take a good hard look even at each thing in my life was a representation of my consciousness. Now, and really the stories behind it, that's like, I really, I didn't want to even, at some point I recognized, oh, if I bought a new car, I was afraid that would reflect that I was spending money on myself versus doing some sort of healing work for the world, that my money was about me instead of, it's like all these stories wanted to come up to surface to see what was really there that was saying I wasn't absolutely worthy. And this is the thing, about luxury and about living in luxury or being worthy of receiving that, is that when I realized that living in that, I want to be able to go wherever I want to go, do whatever I want to do, stay wherever I want to stay, and literally be completely free. So that means I have to value myself enough to create that level of lifestyle, and knowing that I am a divine light being that is completely worthy, completely whole, already completely capable, that as soon as I simply allow that, meaning I request and allow that. This is why for years I've always said it's not about the business strategy, it's about the inner alignment, that you actually will receive the clients, you'll receive the opportunities, you'll receive all those things based on you being in alignment, saying I'm worthy to receive that and have that, not based on you doing the thing that looks like the figuring out that you get to do to be able to have money. Because how many of you have been doing that for a really long time, and yet your result hasn't been to receive the money? It's because the level of self-worth isn't there. And the reason I bring up the reflection around a car, or because that was the first stage for me of being like, whoa, look at all these stories I had around if I had a nice car, what that actually meant other people would think, and that what my team might think, and all these things that I got to look at and be like, how can I teach people to love themselves and to be worthy if I'm not willing to reflect that? And of course I'm worthy of driving a nice vehicle. And then when I got the taste of that and the feeling of that and the support from that, was like, whoa, like I don't ever want to drive anything again that doesn't feel awesome. And how the level of energy that came through me and just giving myself that value, then what that creates, if I feel awesome. So hence going from like not hiring, I remember the first time I hired a cleaner and my thought was like, oh, I could never pay someone to clean my toilets. And then when I realized that for the time that I would save for having someone come clean my house, that even if I was playing with my kids, the level of energy that gave me to say, here's where I got to play with my kids and have an awesome day instead of cleaning toilets and adding one more thing to my list, how much light and energy that gave me to be more productive. And also to have them cleaning my house so that I have more time, effort, and energy for what is my genius that I got to focus on. You see how all of these things are little steps in your level of consciousness to now being at a place where it's like, I absolutely love and appreciate luxury. I love and appreciate the grand glory of this, like all the people and effort that went into creating these beautiful spaces around the world. I'm in Hawaii right now, by the way. And getting to enjoy this and getting to be so supported and getting to, have that is just a reflection of my ability to receive. And that doesn't mean that I, I want to say that the belief or the thought for me that came up before was that, that was like a waste of money versus you could just stay wherever as long as it's those are all just validations of your own reflection of your own worth. And you get to that point and place where you're like, I'm absolutely worthy of always being supported and it being whatever way I want to make it. It looking whatever way feels good for me being supported in whatever way that looks. All these are little reflections of an inch by inch in how do you take care of your body? What are you worthy of? Where I used to not buy organic or buy green juice or do any of that. It was like at that point in my life, it's like I did what I was able to do or what I had the level of doing. And each step that I took and going, you know what, I'm worthy of my body being supported. And this is what that gets to look like. How would I get to create that? How would I get to support myself in that? How would I get to ask for that? What do I get to let go of? What do I get to release? Or what story or perception or idea do I get to release? So me, the perception of even releasing the idea that like, oh, it would just be a waste of money to stay in these big exotic places versus just staying somewhere else. That was just a reflection of me not saying, hey, I'm worthy of even enjoying this amount of beauty around me or having this amount of glory around me and this amount of support around me. And if that's what I really want, then I want the option to be available wherever I want to stay and whatever I want to do. And that can also mean I'm laying in the dirt, down in the jungles, doing medicine, or I'm traipsing around the world doing the craziest adventures ever. I still love and thrive off of that. And I know I love also going into, the most immaculate space and being completely taken care of and having the most beautiful, clean, gorgeous food and, a massage. Oh, I love massage people. I love my body being taken care of. I love it. All reflects my level of self-worth. And in doing that, and in giving myself permission to receive that, is what opens up the ability to have it come into your space. So start with looking at where is that blockage for you? Where is where is the validation story? Where is the thought? Where is the identity block or the stories that say it's not okay for you to be completely supported, for you to have the download of luxury codes? And again, what I mean by code is that it's all of a sudden when you have a context to it, like for me to understand that money issues weren't ever about money, they were just simply my reflection of my ability to receive. That was like, oh, it wasn't even about money. It wasn't about my stories about money. It was like, well, wait, it's about how much value I can give to the world and how much I'm willing to own that value is a reflection of how much I'm willing to receive. And when I understand that the more I give to the world, the more I'm able to receive, if there's a context that I go, click, I got the code of it. So, you know what? As I serve and support the world, I'm always taken care of. If I'm willing to say I'm also worthy of seeing that value I give to the world as something. And so each one of these understandings allow you to have a code or a context imprinted within your system and says, I get it now. So now how do I get to implement that into my life? How do I get to give myself more luxury? Even if it's the simplest small step of you creating time for yourself, to make yourself a tea, or to take a bath and relax, or give yourself a little space in your schedule, or to schedule a massage. Like when I started going to scheduling a massage every single week for myself, no matter where I was at, it was like, that was a whole new level of receiving, saying I'm worthy of being taken care of no matter where I'm at. If I'm running retreat, if wherever I'm at, it's like, hey, these are the things that get to be around me. My team knows that whatever space they start to research for me to go into, wherever I feel called, that, it gets to have these things. It's a very sacred space for me to enter into, because that's how I'm operating at my highest self, that then what comes through me is such a greater degree of service to the world that then in turn comes back to me. It's this beautiful give and receive. And so realize that if you're not willing to receive luxury in your life, you're not willing to see, that's a reflection of how much love you're willing to receive. That's a reflection of your relationships. That's a reflection of, that's a reflection of how you treat your body. That's a reflection of everything. And so start somewhere. Start by going, oh, really it all comes down to luxury codes are really self-love codes, my friends. It's really how much love are you willing to give yourself? And when you allow that and click in with that, it's like, all right, so if I know, and this is the thing around luxury codes that I want to end on, and supporting you guys in this little mini training I wanted to just throw out, is that when I let that sit in my system and I realize, whoa, first off, I'm a divine light being. So whatever I think and focus on and feel and speak is a declaration. It is a prayer. It is an intention. And when I just hold that field of knowing that I am so worthy of this, like it effortlessly gets to come my way, it always shows up. And there's that level of knowing and trusting and being with that will allow that to show up for you. And if you're not willing to sit with that or be with that feeling or, trust in that feeling, and you act out of fear of like, oh, I need to go create. That's just actually, if you go into the Gene Keys, Gene Code 5 is fabulous to look at impatience versus patience as a shadow versus a gift. And the shadow of impatience is how our society operates because we act out of fear. We get impatient that the money should be here, so I need to go create this. I should do this. I could do that. I have to do that. That is acting with the seed of fear, which will then never create the result of effortless wealth and receiving with this light energy that you're just going to receive it because you have the seed of fear attached to it. And so it just keeps you in the spiral. You might make something and then lose it again, and it keeps you in that spiral because you're saying it all comes out of fear. So really tune into all this and look at where are you withholding love from yourself, because that's what it comes down to. Where are you withholding love from yourself? Where are you withholding support? Where are you withholding the gifts of the glory of what's available in the world? What aren't you giving yourself permission to do because of some sort of story of like, well, I can't because, or when ... happens, then I'll go travel, then I'll go play, instead of going, well, how would I get to travel right now? How do I give myself that luxury? Even realizing everything being a luxury that you're withholding from yourself, and how do you begin to give yourself those pieces of luxury to eventually to sink in and attune with the luxury codes that you're worthy of being so supported, so loved, so taken care of, everything being phenomenal in the way you want to make it and how you want it to look and what you want to experience. You're worthy of all of it. I love you guys so much. Luxury Codes 101, implement. Love you. Power of choice is yours. Choose your best life and lock it down.